5-star makeup products. Because when I talk about products, there always is a but with me, okay? I'm a makeup reviewer. It's my job to be a little bit more on the pickier side, so often I review things and I'm like, I like this, but... So this video's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. These are 5-star makeup products, no notes. Let's get into it. You guys, since I talked about it the last time, a handful of you said that you also loved Iredale jewelry pieces. So I want to show you the new pieces that I've added to my collection recently. A huge thank you to Iredale for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Iredale creates unique, modular, high-quality lab-grown diamond pieces in Antwerp, Belgium. At first, I'd seen a lot of celebrities wearing their pieces, but actually turns out a good number of you guys are also fans. Their pieces have 14K solid, traceable, conflict-free gold for those of you with sensitive ears, so they won't be irritated, and super fairly priced without any crazy markups. And if you look, they actually have a lot of jewelry at every price point while still being able to offer that high quality but still fine jewelry pieces. So at base, how it works with their modular system, the diamond studs and the gold chain, and then with their modular collection that has a lot of add-on pieces, you build and customize from there to get multiple ways to wear and style your jewelry. So these are lifelong pieces that will never rust. I've had my base pieces now for months. So far, so good. They're nice and sturdy, no rusting, no changing of color, no nothing. So I want to show you what I've added. First of all, when you order from them, everything comes nicely packaged, so it's a luxury experience when you order from them. Now, I already have my gold chain and my diamond studs, so I'm just building off of that. So the first thing that I picked up is the Cocoa. And this one I picked up because I thought it would be gorgeous as a necklace, like a lariat piece, because this has a lot of length to it. So that's the first piece that I picked up. That's how I'm wearing it today, and I think it's absolutely stunning. It is dainty, but still is a little bit more elevated. So that Y kind of style necklace was what I had in mind. And reminder, this chain is what we started off with. And because I bought the Cocoa, it now has completely transformed what I can do with this necklace. Ooh, I also added the Nell, which is this beautiful, it has 3 diamonds on there, and then there's a chain that you put behind the ear as well to give the ear and the overall piece a lot more dimension. This is really great if you have multiple ear holes. You can layer this with different studs and hoops, and that will be really, really fun. But I love this one so much. Had to get this one. This is what I'm going to be wearing a lot in future videos. And then I actually had already ordered this before. I had the Heiress, and I was using it on my necklace for a cute little diamond stud duo, but I thought it would be beautiful on my earrings as well. So I picked up a second Heiress piece, and now I can wear it as a dainty earring set as well. So that's the great thing about Iredale, is you can slowly over time build your collection and mix and match in different ways. So as you may know, when you purchase from them, you get free shipping and returns, great 24/7 live assistance, luxury unboxing experience. They give a lot of free luxury gifts away as well. So that's my jewelry for today. Again, huge thank you to Iredale for working with me on today's video. I'll have the links down below to check them out and the pieces that I've added to my collection this time around. Let's get into the video. These products are just so good. As you know, with this time of year, we are bombarded with new, and I take it upon myself as my job to tell you what is actually worth it and standing out on the market. And like, truly, if I'm writing a review on Sephora right now, 5 stars. So let's get into it. We'll start off with the foundation launch of the year, and I'm seeing so many people also loving this foundation. So I'm not alone here. This is a well-loved foundation here. It's the new High Glam foundation from Natasha Denona, and it's everything I wanted it to be and more. It is a beautiful, I would say, natural finish foundation. It can very easily become glowy based on what other products you pair it with. It's very flexible in that way. It feels lightweight. It has about a medium coverage, and it just looks so healthy and smooth on the skin. It blends in like cream on the skin. It almost applies itself. It has all of those it factor items on my foundation checklist. So everything that I look for in a foundation, this has it. It also wears really well. I think it's great for all skin types, but in particular dry skin types, I think you're really going to enjoy this. Ever since I first done that initial review and that initial wear test, my opinions haven't changed. I am continuing to love and use this foundation. It is quickly rising to the top of my top favorite foundations, and I'm somebody who's tried a lot, so that's saying a lot. I like a lot of makeup, yes, but can it compete with my top runners is the real question, and this one absolutely can. So for reference, I think my correct shade is probably around N4. This is just what they sent me in PR. So I use N2, which at base is a really great undertone for me. And then I warm it up just a bit with P3, and that's pretty much my perfect shade. But I'm just saying, believe the hype in this product. It is worth it. The hype is real. It's amazing. Next product, I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but I'm really, really loving this. It's not a product, it's a brush, but I love the shape, the function of this. This is from the new BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose collaboration, their Volume 2 collab. This is the N19 brush. Now, I believe the collection is sold out, but mid-October, it should be restocked and you should be good to go for the holidays for this. So this was inspired by a little triangle sponge, which I use often in my routine. And then of course it has those great BK Beauty fibers, which are really versatile for both liquid and powder products. And this is the perfect shape to quickly blend out concealer. I really love it for getting around the nose. And then what I love, you can clean this brush off and then dip it into an under eye powder and then use that to bake the face. So this is more for like a full glam kind of situation, but I think, Nikki, this brush, it is genius. It's a must-have for me. So eventually they'll probably get singles out of this as well, so you don't need to buy the whole bundle. But for me, this is the standout in the kit, and I've been loving it. Now, this is the powder that I just used to apply with the brush, but I do want to flag something. And I've been trying to scream this from the rooftops for all of you to hear because I know it's not the most exciting launch, but this powder is amazing. It's from Mercier. It's the Secret Brightening Under Eye Setting Powder. I use the shade Translucent, and I didn't demo it today because I wanted to demo it with the Nikki LaRose and BK Beauty brush. But I really enjoy for everyday wear applying this powder with the Camouflage powder brush, also from Mercier, but any synthetic fiber paddle brush will do. This is such a finely milled powder, but it's not one that like gets everywhere, and it's so finely milled that it kind of, I don't know, it just looks a little textured on the skin, I find, with really finely milled powders. It's perfect in that it really does blur the under eyes and keep everything smooth, and it's lightweight. But I find that this elongates the wear of my concealer so much, and it keeps everything pretty relatively crease-free, right? Within reason, of course. We have creases under our eyes. We spend our day laughing, smiling if we're happy. The creases are gonna form no matter what, but this really minimizes it. And when I set with this combo with a good quality concealer that has minimal creasing to begin with, I pretty much get no creasing. So I've been enjoying this over my Huda Beauty baking powder that I normally use. This for every day, it's perfect. It's not too much powder, but it blurs and it really sets the concealer like no other. So if you haven't tried this and you're looking for a good lightweight under eye setting powder that's actually going to be effective, this really does something. Ooh, oh my gosh. From the moment this touched my face, I knew. As you know, Vanngo just came out with a new makeup line, and I'm featuring a few products from the line in today's video because no notes, they're perfect. This bronzer to me is probably the biggest standout in the line. It's the soft blurring bronzer. I use the shade Straightforward. This is like silk on the skin, and it's a very sheer but buildable bronzer at the same time, so you can really customize how much pigment that you want, but it has this really smooth roll over the face when it comes to application. It doesn't tug or drag or get stuck. It just rolls over the skin wherever your brush places it. It gives that soft blurred effect, which is in the name, so it definitely looks really blurred, and I find that it just looks so natural. It basically applies itself. It's very hard for a powder bronzer to stand out. I just feel like there's only so many ways you can go with a powder formulation, but this stands out. This is unique. There's not a lot of powder bronzers out there with this type of formulation. I don't know, the finish is airbrush. There's really no kickback with this. It's not powdery in that way, and it just is this soft focused blend all over the face. This is a phenomenal bronzer. I'm telling you, from the second I first used it, I was like, this is it. And that's all I have to say about that. No notes. Of course I was gonna add this, I have to. It's a 5-star for me every year. Now, of the 3 shades, this is the one that's for me the standout. It's my favorite launch every single year because Hourglass has the best powders on the market in my opinion. And they just launched their holiday palettes. So this is the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked, the Swan one. This is the one that has been calling out to me that I've been wanting to use. So we already know at base this formula is an all-time favorite of mine. The ambient finishing powders here I love for just mixing all over the cheeks. Now today, what did I do? Since I used the Vanngo bronzer, I didn't use the bronzer today, but I did use this blush, Sunset Flush, all over my face, which is kind of like an oranger, like a peachier, I guess, NARS Orgasm vibe, because it definitely does have a gold shift to it. Beautiful, smooth application. I love the glow that this gives. I also used the highlighter today as well to give us that glow. We've lost the art of highlighter. I've even myself have found I haven't been reaching for highlighter in my makeup as much recently, but I've been making more of an effort to, and I'm like, okay, how could I have skipped this to begin with and was okay with it? Because it really adds something to the look. And then once you have your bronzer, blush, and highlight down, then I use Dim Light, which is my favorite finishing powder, just to blur everything together, mesh everything together. So we already knew these formulas were great. I just wanted to give a call out that the 5-star color family for me has been the Swan. This has been the one that I've been reaching for the most. I think, I don't want to say this is a good value, but for Hourglass, this is a good value. And I think one palette, all you need for the year or two, and then refresh every now and then, because yes, they do look very similar on the face, but Swan is the one for me. Okay, we're moving on to the eye products. We have some really good ones. I've been playing around a lot lately, more with smoky eyes, eyeliner, false lashes, as we're getting into the cooler weather. Let's talk about these amazing Makeup by Mario Master Mattes Longwear Cream Eyeshadow. I think a formula like this can seem intimidating for somebody. I mean, we've been really only using powder eyeshadow for the last 10 years. That's what's been trending, and I'm noticing this year a lot more eyeshadow sticks, a lot more liquid shadows, and it can be a little bit scary. It can feel a little intimidating. I know it was for me as well. This works out as easily as powder eyeshadow. All you have to do, put a dot in the vicinity of where you want it, take a brush, and I'm telling you, you're barely going to notice a difference between this and powder. These also just, they're lightweight. They don't get chunky or really ball up in the eyelids. They wear like a powder. They last a long time. They're so lightweight, I think, because of this moussey consistency, and they don't crease, and you can get a full look using multiple of these. I've demoed this multiple times on my socials, how much I love using these. Let me show you the shades first. Bisque, Sandstone, Chestnut, Taupe, Mauve, Blush, Sienna, Slate, Espresso, and Black. Now, some of my favorites that I've been reaching for an all matte look, which is always underappreciated, even by me, but every time I do a matte look, I'm like, oh yeah, that looks good. Bisque all over the eyelid, and it's not as scary as it seems. Mixing espresso in the outer corner, really easy to work with. And chestnut and taupe, of course, have been my go-to crease colors, but of course there's some more pinky warm options as well. You could even do a little bit of eyeliner. I don't think I'm bold enough to try that quite yet, but there are some smokier options. Imagine like putting this slate shade all over the lid and just blending that out for the ultimate dark gray smoky eye. I never do looks like that. Maybe I should do that next, but I just wanted to give these a 5-star review because they're phenomenal. I have no notes about the formula, and the pro to using like cream liquid shadows like these over powders is they're mess free. You're not going to get any fallout. So if you're somebody who does your face makeup first, it's really good to grab for liquid shadows in that situation because you're not going to make a mess all over the face. So love those. Now, I have an eyeshadow palette from Vanngo. This is the new neutral from their Color Story eyeshadow palette line. He launched a lot of different color stories. I've got to admit, not all of the color stories are 5-star reviews for me. However, this new neutral one is the perfect neutral everyday eyeshadow palette. We have varying finishes here from satins to glimmers to metallics, and there's the most essential matte shades that you'll ever need, whether it be for a crease, an outer corner, an eyeliner. We have that cream that I find to be so essential. This little 8-panner has everything that you'll need, hence why I'm giving it a 5-star review, and the shimmers are also quite beautiful. Now, for today's look, I kept it really simple. I wanted to show you what I do with this palette typically. I took this shade first and I put that all over my crease just as that all over shadow shade. This is almost more of a little bit of a satiny shade. It's beautiful. I popped this dark shade in the outer corner, and I also smoked that out along my lower lash line. I've been really playing with putting more waterline eyeliner because it really does make my brown eyes pop more. So this can get pretty deep. So you can apply a lighter amount for a lighter amount of depth, or you can really build it up for a ton of depth. And then I used this shade right here just to brighten up underneath the brow, but this is also really beautiful all over the eyelid. And I've played with these shimmers all over the eyelid before. They are beautiful. Now, the next part that I'm going to talk about was mostly all over the lid, but I did finish with a little bit of this to set that cream shadow stick that I used because I wanted just a little bit more dimension. And what a beautiful, simple, bronzy look. This is the perfect neutral palette. For being 8 shades, I think, you know, he fulfilled a lot with this palette, so I really love this. The mattes are super easy to blend. They're a little bit more on the buildable side, which I think makes it a lot easier to work out with, but I definitely recommend new neutral. Now, that eyelid product that I was talking about, I'm not recommending like the whole line of these, though they are pretty good. It's this shade in particular from the Urban Decay Naked Eyeshadow Sticks, which I have been such an eyeshadow stick enthusiast for the last couple of years, and I am the pickiest when it comes to them, especially when they try and add glitters, because a lot of times it doesn't work. It looks dry and crusty on the eyelid, but for some reason, toasty, not so much. Now, overall, this does have glitters in there, but they don't look crusty, dusty, or age the eyelids. And this is like the perfect mid-tone bronzy shade all over the eyelid. So I feel like matte eyeshadow sticks, good quality ones, are easier to come by, but it's the shimmer ones that I find to be really difficult. So when I find a good quality shimmer cream stick, I'm going to call it out to you. So this shade Toasty is stunning. It's long lasting, it's creamy, but it doesn't get creasy at all. And if you go by the demo, you'll see how beautiful it looked. I only added the powder shadow on because I wanted to demo one from the Vanngo palette, but this would have just been beautiful on its own as well. So it doesn't have any tug or drag on the eyelid either. No notes. That's the point of this video, right? And then This is the last Vanngo product that I have, but I mean, it really is a top of the line eyeliner. This is the longwear eyeliner in the shade Along the Lash Line, which he has two different eyeliner formulas, a kohl formula, which is not going to set down, and then this one, which is pretty darn bulletproof. Now this shade Along the Lash Line, he thinks is the blackest eyeliner on the market, or at least that's what he was going for. So no matter your skin tone, you can be very deep dark and it still is going to look black. It's not going to get grayed out. I mean, it is very, very black on my eyes, but I can tell a good quality eyeliner by how long it stays unbothered in my waterline, and she's unbothered. I've been wearing this for a few hours. I took a lunch break in between my demo and we're still going just as strong. So I will absolutely, during the Sephora sale, be picking up this in a brown shade because the wear on this is phenomenal. Now, you can't blend this out. That's what the kohl is for. So I do find it difficult to take a brush and smudge it out. So I guess that is my but. There is a but to this. But it's so long lasting, so effective, so black, so reliable. I don't care about that but factor. This is the longest wearing eyeliner potentially in my collection, and I mean, it's insane. So I've been, as I've said, putting a lot more definition on the eyes with eyeliner, and this has been the one that I can trust for sure. A couple lip products. I've been letting you guys know, like, because I went on that trip with Jane Iredale last month, I really got to hone in on their products, a lot of which I had never really tried before or given full chances, and I fell in love with their lip line. They have such good quality, hydrating, easy to use, flattering lip products, and that includes this line of lipsticks, the Color Luxe lipsticks. So to begin with, I tend to gravitate towards lipsticks with this shape because I have small lips. But what I really like about these is how hydrating they feel. They don't dry out the lips, you get a lot of pigment, but you can also pick and customize the amount of pigment that you want. You can kind of make this into a lip stain. So let me show you, because I know this shade Passion Fruit looks a little crazy. Like, look at this, just like a little bit of passion fruit. Looks intimidating, but just the littlest bit is so pretty, but it doesn't dry out the lips. You can build it up for full opacity as well. What you'll see here is what you can get on the lips. But when I do such a sheer wash like this over the lips, I find that this shade stains the lips, and my lips stay like this all day. They also do have neutral tones as well, deep tones, red tones, desert rose, candy apple, passion fruit, Bordeaux, and poppy. Beautiful. Super comfortable, just an extremely high quality luxury lip formula. I know these are not on the cheaper side, but I've been gravitating towards this formula, have not been wanting to put them down. Other than the price point, I mean, there's nothing I can say about the formula because it's incredible. And same thing, kind of, this is almost like the lipstick version. I have the same review of the Color Luxe High Impact Lip Glazes. And first of all, at base, the ingredients, they're very hydrating, of course. This shade Au Naturel is one of the most beautiful, just everyday glosses with a neutral toned lip liner. But don't be scared of the deeper shades. While you can get full opacity, I think that these sheer out really beautifully all over the lips. This whole time before I just put on Passion Fruit, this crazy color, Cherry Noir, was the lipstick I was wearing, or lip gloss, excuse me. And I just sheared it out a little bit. Now it's going to have more color because I do have Passion Fruit underneath. But don't be scared of the brighter colors. In fact, I think you get the best of everything when it comes to these more vibrant colors because they sheer out, but they add so much life to the face. And just a really overall not sticky, but still thick, very hydrating, lasts a long time. Just an overall really comfortable, everyday kind of formula. Again, I've simply found myself gravitating towards this formula. And when I do that mindlessly, that's how I know it's a good formula and can be trusted. And finally, these are not makeup products, but I don't think I've talked about this, so I think some of you guys would be interested, and these are like 5-star body products. So I'm currently 21 weeks pregnant, and I'm at the point now where my stomach is growing, so I think around like 18, 19 weeks when my jeans are like not buttoning up all the way, I was like, okay, I definitely need to get into some bump care. The bump needs a skincare routine, and I wanted to be really careful about what I was using. I didn't want too much fragrance, like, because that's like where the baby is, you know? I don't know. I was a little worried. And so what I settled on that I've been loving and I feel is nourishing, it's good for my body, it's pretty natural, smells amazing, Josie Maran. Just the good old plain whipped argan oil body butter, deeply hydrating without being too thick, just blends over the skin with ease. Now, of course, I do feel sticky after. I hate having a bump skincare routine. I hate it. I hate being sticky at night. I only apply it at night. I can't do it during the day. I cannot put my clothes on with my body feeling sticky, but gotta do what I gotta do. I know they say you can't do anything to prevent stretch marks, but just in case, I'm gonna do it. And even if not, it's really important with winter coming as your stomach really starts to stretch. It can get uncomfortable. The skin can feel really tight. It's important to keep the area hydrated regardless. So I've been loving this because it does feel so deeply nourishing, but it also isn't like thick and hard to like blend out over the body. It's really, really easy. And the scent is so, so subtle. I don't think there's fragrance added. I think that's just the smell of the product. I could be wrong, but I love this body butter. So this, and then I don't do this all the time because sometimes it gets a little too sticky for me, but I just think the Josie Maran Argan Oil line is incredible. So I'll lock in my body butter with just the 100% pure argan oil, which is incredible for the skin, incredible for the bump. And yeah, I don't use it all the time. It's also quite expensive, but I'll mix it in there every few days just to get that extra hydration locked in. I think, you know, over these next few months, I might get a little bit more intense with it as things start to change a lot quicker. But that's been the new bump skincare routine. I am putting all my faith and trust in the Josie Maran Argan Oil line, and I've been loving it. And it was a bit of trial and error. I didn't start with Josie Maran. I tried different brands, different types of formulas and stuff that was recommended online, and I just didn't jive with it. I didn't like the way it smelled. It was too strong at night. And honestly, the routines are crazy. People are doing the most. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible, but as effective as possible. So that's what I've landed on. That's what I'm really enjoying. You'll probably see this in my next favorites video, but just the body butter in particular, 5 stars. It's incredible. I've been using it for full body, but I fell in love with rubbing it all over my bumpy bump. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. These are 5-star makeup products that have come out recently that are actually standing out in a market where everything is good. These are better than everything that's good. So these, I think you will enjoy. I stand by the quality of these. And again, a huge thank you to Iredale for sponsoring today's video. Definitely go online and check out their beautiful modular collection for high quality, fine jewelry that is not with a crazy, crazy markup. I'll have all of the pieces that I talked about today linked down below for you guys, as well as everything else that I mentioned in today's video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.
It's delicious.